Situated just off the King's Road is the home of Thomas and Jane Carlyle. Thomas was a Scottish philosopher, satirical writer, essayist and a historian, and is one of the most important social commentators of his time. The kitchen in the basement maintains many of its original features, such as the stove and the original bed that the maid would have slept in. If there was more than one maid, the other maid would have slept in the space underneath the dresser, which is where the saying left on the shelf is thought to have originated from. In Carlyle's day, this would have been a working area where meals would have been prepared and the washing and all the cleaning would have been done. On the floor above, we have Carlyle's front parlour. You can find the original sofa that Carlyle and his wife Jane would have sat on and entertained their guests. It is very likely that Frédéric Chopin, who visited in 1884, would have played on this piano. The piano was also used for a more practical purpose. In a letter from 1860, Jane describes how the household keys were locked up in the piano for security when she and Thomas were both away from the house. We also have in this room the books of the French Revolution, which Carlyle wrote himself in 3 volumes. The first volume he gave to Stuart Mill to read, whose maid accidentally destroyed them. Mill offered to pay Carlyle for this mistake, as he had to completely rewrite them again from the beginning. His history of the French Revolution is said to be what Charles Dickens used as a basis for The Tale of Two Cities. In this room is hung a picture of Frederick the Great, which Jane bought for Thomas from a second-hand shop. Advertised as a picture of Peter the Great for 7 shillings and sixpence, Jane told the shopkeeper who it actually was and only paid 6 shillings. Among the original features is a screen which was made by Jane Carlyle herself in 1848. It contains over 400 pictures which she collected from various people, including John Forster, Thackeray and Thomas Carlyle himself. To mark his 80th birthday, Thomas Carlyle was presented with an address signed by a broad range of his admirers, together with a gold medal. Among the many distinguished signatories are Robert Browning the poet, George Eliot, whose alias was Mary Ann Evans, and Charles Darwin, who spent a lot of time visiting the Carlyles. Another room containing many original features is Jane's bedroom. This little bed is the bed Jane was born in and the bed she had as a child. Jane Carlyle is considered to be one of the greatest women letter writers in the English language. One of her more famous quotes,
"Is it not curious that my husband's writing should only be completely understood and inadequately appreciated by women and mad people? I do not know very well what to infer from the fact."
Jane Carlyle in 1837. At the top of the house is the soundproof study that Carlyle had built. It was in this room that Carlyle wrote his history on Frederick the Great, which took him 12 years to complete. His desk is where he wrote most of his works. It is said Jane spent a day getting the ink stains off his desk and is quoted as saying,
"Perhaps one shouldn't get rid of the ink stains of a great man's desk."
The room has on display letters from Benjamin Disraeli, the Prime Minister of the day, offering Carlyle a title and a pension. Carlyle was to decline this offer, stating that the pension should go to somebody who is needier of it. Within the bookcase are some of the books that Thomas Carlyle used in his research. Many others he gave to Harvard University. Like most of the house, the garden has been kept as it was when Carlyle lived here. Carlyle referred to the garden in his day as his sooty little patch, which today we know was due to the high pollution that London suffered during the period of their occupancy.